Brightstorm has thousands of high-quality videos covering all major subjects. Please check out more at www.brightstorm.com.
I can write a polynomial given imaginary binomial zeros and also one other key point. In this particular problem, I'm given write the third degree polynomial that has zeros 2 and 1 minus 3i if p of 0 equals negative 10. Okay, there's a whole lot going on in this problem. First thing, degree 3 means that I should have x to the third as my highest degree number. It also means I should have 3 zeros, but they only gave me 2 of them. They gave me 2, 1 minus 3i, but I also know from the complex conjugate theorem that if 1 minus 3i is a root, then also 1 plus 3i would be 1 as well. And then the last piece of information they gave me is this bit, p of 0 equals negative 10. That means my polynomial goes to the point 0, negative 10. If x is 0, y is negative 10. That happens to be the y-intercept. I'm going to pause on that info for now. Let's go ahead and start writing our polynomial. We know the factor of, if I have a 0 of 2, that shows up as a factor of x minus 2. Then if I have a 0 of 1 minus 3i, it's going to look like x minus 1 minus 3i. Then I have x minus 1 plus 3i, that's the complex conjugate. And then to deal with that y-intercept info, I'm going to put a in there as my leading coefficient number. I'll leave that for now and deal with it later. What I need to do is simplify this whole big multiplication mess. But my tip for you guys is to always do the imaginary expansion first, because if you do that part correctly, your imaginary terms should cancel out. That's one of the cool things about imaginary numbers, is that they often come in conjugate pairs. Okay, so if I'm going to multiply that out, I'm going to be doing x times the trinomial, then I'll do negative 1 times the trinomial, and then 3i. So let's start with x. X squared minus x minus 3ix. Now I'm going to do negative 1, negative x plus 1 plus 3i, and now I'm going to do 3i. So plus 3ix minus 3i minus 9i squared. Remember, that whole thing is multiplied by the factor x minus 2, and I still have that a to deal with. Okay, well, let's simplify combine like terms in here. Luckily, all of my i's cancel out if I did it correctly. Negative 9i squared at the end here. Remember, I squared is like negative 1. So really, this is negative 9 times negative 1, which will be plus 9. So here's that whole big old long thing simplifies to x squared minus 2x. And then I have plus 1 plus 9, so plus 10. Okay, continuing with my expansion, I'm going to do x times the trinomial, and then I'll do negative 2 times that trinomial. So I'll have x to the third minus 2x squared plus 10x. Now here comes the negative 2 plus 4x minus 20, and then I'll simplify that by combining like terms. Minus 4x squared, I have plus 14x, and then minus 20 at the end. Okay, so all of that information was just dealing with the zeros. I haven't yet dealt with this y-intercept business yet, so I'm going to do that now. If I were to leave my polynomial as it was and I put in 0 for x, as I have it right now, I would get negative 20, right? There's that negative 20, but I don't want negative 20. It's supposed to be negative 10. So if it's supposed to be negative 10, I need to be multiplying my entire polynomial by a half, because negative 20 times a half would give me that negative 10 that I want. That tells me a is a half, so my polynomial is going to be a half times that stuff. Let's go ahead and simplify it out. It'll be 1 half x to the third minus 2x squared plus 7x minus 10. So all of that work, first, the bulk of it was all about finding the polynomial that goes through the given imaginary zeros. And then the last step was where I made it so that if I plug in 0 for my x value, that my output or y value would be negative 10.
By 2. I can't do this with you two laughing back there.
Work it. Work it.
So if we had, no, that's not right, 3 coplanar points.
So have you ever gotten off an airplane?
That should be
Less than.
yeah. Dang.
Is it like 500 degrees in here or what?
All right, so when you're in chemistry class, you're going to be doing a lot of work. You're going to be starting over.
So as an example, we could consider like you've got a chain hanging from two fixed.